Hello, everybody.
Hi there. Yes, there we are. I don't know if my quality is good enough or it may be chunky. I just restarted the computer, so hopefully it is. But my name is Maurice, and I'm here with my good friend John, and we are the Mentoring Man. So thank you so much for joining here in this week's episode of the Mentoring Man podcast. And today's episode, we're going to talk about this big thing called taking control in life or just letting go. John, my friend, how are you, my dear
I
friend there?
am awesome, my friend. Awesome. This is a cool topic. I like this topic.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? I mean, when I started with personal development around 10 years ago, it was like, I need to take control in my life, right? I need to take back control in my life. What do I want? What makes me happy? What is the meaning of life? What's the meaning of my life? There's happened so much in my life, and I need to take back control in my life. But during this path of self development, I also realized that sometimes you just have to let go of things, right? And just letting it go so it can come into your life instead of trying to grab it as much as you can and take it into your life. So, yeah, what does it mean for you? Take control, letting go. What does it
Part of it,
resonate to you?
part of it is really about personal development and personal growth. Really, you want to get clear on what it is that you really want. You know, what you want, why you want it, and the things that you really don't. Yeah, the things you're kind of iffy on. You need to learn to let them go, so you can really focus your attention on what the things that you do want, and be willing to take control. Be willing to take control, because it's hard to take control of some things, because you're going to step on toes when you're taking control of certain things in your life.
Right.
It's a hard
So,
it's a hard decision to make. There are things that you got to let go of part of you in order to grow into who you truly want to be.
right.
So I had put out a post the other day, about that no one dies alone.
Yeah, I
Well, no
saw
one's
that.
born alone either. You
Right.
know, the you're going to have to, part of you is going to have, the old you is going to have to die, for lack of a better word, for the new
Yeah.
you to come to life.
Well,
And
that's every day in every development, right? You got to
yeah,
be the version you want to become in order to become it, right? So
yeah,
that's like saying goodbye to your old self and becoming your new self, and therefore you have to let go your old self, then, right?
yeah. And you're gonna have, it's deeper than that, though. It's more than that. There are people you're going to have to let go of, friends you're going to have to let go of, who,
Sure.
through no fault of their own, they don't want to see you grow because they're not ready to grow with you. But it's
Yeah,
not
that could happen.
they can't go on this journey with you. It's not their journey, it's yours.
Right.
So are you strong enough to let go of the people that
Yeah.
you've known?
Yeah, that's true. It
You
it
know, you
means
want to
it means
surround
quite.
yourself. I'm sorry, go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, I wanted to say it can mean so many different things, right? Like taking control or letting go. I think the letting go part has indeed is a part of the of life in general, right? You gotta let go stuff sometimes. So if you, like you said, if you want to grow, you sometimes have to let go people from your past, right? Who doesn't bring you towards goals or what you want in life, and because they hold you back. But it also means sometimes, and I had that myself, that I was so focused on taking control that it be also, it kind of like suffocated me, right? It it pushed me towards the direction where I only wanted to do the things that I could control. But there are things you can't control, and with the things you can't control, even allowing things to happen you want to take control in, you first have to let go, right? It's what Abraham Hicks calls the third step. You ask, the universe gives, and then you have to let go to receive, right? You have to receive, and for that you have to let go of the vibration of only wanting, right? So the taking control part. Um,
Yeah,
so
so how do you learn how to get out of your own way?
yeah, yeah, exactly.
You
On so
got to
many
get out
levels,
of your
right?
own way.
On so many
'Cause
levels.
you can be so focused on something that you think you want, that you're missing out on other opportunities. That if you just learned how to let things go, what you want is coming to you, but not in the way you thought it would.
Yeah.
Not in the way we've talked about this, you and I, how many times on this program already? Just the Mentoring Men alone didn't start out this way. It's what we
Right.
wanted, but the end result, what became the Mentoring Men, never started out like this. It had a
Like,
completely different birth,
yeah, yeah.
and we
And
had to let
that's
go of
funny.
certain things to have this happen.
Yeah, a friend of mine, I have this wall in my home, which I call the wall of inspiration, where people who visit my home can write down some thought pattern they have, or an idea, or a quote. And
Oh,
one of
that's
my
cool.
friends, yeah, it's very cool, and it's very interesting to see how many different views of what people write on that wall. And one of my friends said, if you let go, you have your hands free again, right?
Yeah.
Which, if you hold on, you can do anything because you got your hands full, right? But if you let go, you suddenly have your hands free again, and you can do what you want. So letting go also creates space to let things happen, I guess, right?
Well, there's another way of looking at that. If you're so holding on to something that you think you want, your hands aren't free to receive the blessings that are coming to you either. Law of
Exactly. Yeah.
attraction, law of resonance, whatever, that kind of stuff. You're not free to receive anything because you're clutched onto something else.
Yeah. Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
like, I really like that quote. I really like that quote. That's very, very cool. Now, I've
Yeah.
got a printout on my door of something, and it says, "Be the reason someone has hope today." And I
Okay.
look at that every time I walk out the door of my house.
So
Be the
how do you
reason
control that?
someone has hope today. Well, you start by setting an intention to let go of the things that have been holding you back. Because when
Okay.
you wake up in the morning, how do you want to start your day? When you wake up in the morning, do you say to yourself, "Oh shit, what's going to go wrong today?" Or do you look at it and say, "What's going to go right today?"
Yeah.
Change your
Sure.
mindset. Change your mindset. What can I do today that will benefit me and whatever situation I walk into?
Every
Whatever
day is a
happens
new
there.
start, right?
Every day is a brand new start. Set his
There,
intention. Change the way you look at it. You can
yeah.
be hope for somebody. You can have the thing. You can let go of the shit that's
I
holding you
think it's
back.
I think it's Plato or some other old philosopher who said, every day you get born again, right?
Yeah.
So it's a new day, it's a new opportunity to do the things different than you did yesterday. But the problem for many people is indeed what you just said. Is you wake up with, you keep continuing the thoughts you had when you went to bed. So for that reason, that's why I have my very strict evening routine. That when I go to bed, when I am literally in my bed, trying to fall asleep, I think of the things that I love to think about. That makes me feel happy. It could be things I'm looking forward to, or things I'd like to have in my life in my future, and even trying to figure out how my life would be then, how I would have to be then. So all based on what's my best version of my life. And the moment you wake up, you kind of like continue in that thought. That the first thoughts you have are the last thoughts you had, pretty much. So,
That's actually
um,
really smart. Yeah, that's actually a really smart idea. If you go to sleep at night and the last thing you say to yourself is something along the lines of, "Wouldn't it be great if
oh
I
yeah,
started tomorrow achieving this goal of being the best version of myself," or whatever way you want to word it. Now you've set an intention. The last thing your subconscious mind heard you say is find a way to be better.
yeah,
Your brain is working on that. Your subconscious mind is working on that all night long. You develop that habit.
yeah.
Yes. You develop that was my son looking for a cupcake. Sorry guys. You develop that
Yeah,
habit in time. The patterns that you're running right now, you've run them your whole life.
of course. Yeah, of
But
course.
you're going to make a conscious effort to change those patterns.
Yeah,
So if you set the intention at night to live your best life tomorrow, when you wake up, your brain
yeah,
will find a way to improve something in
yeah,
the quality of your life. You make a
yeah.
habit of that and everything starts rolling in your favor. Then you got nothing to let
Absolutely.
go of. You got nothing but to receive.
Absolutely. And I think that's where the secret lies to the controlling part or the letting go part. That, even though life just hits you with a brick, um, you sometimes just have to let it be and let it play out to see what's happening, right? I truly believe that you're always in the place where you need to be, and that means that even if shit hits the fan, that you are given an opportunity to see why you are there and what happened and what you can take out of it, right? And anything from that you can move on further and yeah, help you redesign your life for tomorrow, right? And that sometimes needs to let go of things. But
Absolutely.
take control is also sometimes part of the deal, right? Sometimes you just have to take control, or at least, for yourself or for your family, for whatever situation is, you got to step up and say, no, this is not okay. I have to take control into the situation now. I have to start doing stuff so I can create the life for me, for my loved ones, for whatever it is that will give me the opportunity to grow, right? And that means then that you need to take control, which
You need to take control of certain things.
yeah, and it can mean you got to quit that job, or you got to move to another country, or stop the relationship, or whatever the situation is. That is also take control. So the letting go isn't always be okay with it, sing kumbaya, and pray for the best. No, it's the
It's good to
combination
do
of
that,
both,
but it's
right?
not enough. It's not enough. You have
It's
to take
both.
action. It's
Yeah.
both. It's absolutely both. Now, I made a decision to quit. To quit. I made a decision to retire from my job. Okay.
Right.
And that's coming up this summer. I'm retiring after 28 years. And I'm going
Yeah.
coaching full time because I made a choice. I made a decision that the coaching is the most fulfilling thing I've ever done. Professional
Yeah.
speaking, being out there, making a difference is sincerely the most fulfilling thing I've ever done. My
Right.
job, it got to the point where my job was getting in the way.
Right.
And I could not fulfill what I want to do. And I know I'm doing the right thing. There's no question in my mind. I'm being pulled into this full time.
Yeah. So this is taking control. But what
So
did
this
you
is
then
taking
have
control,
to?
but I'm letting go of the job to take control of my
Yeah.
future.
But you also have to let go of the fact that it still needs 5 months, 4 months, whatever it needs to make it happen, right? So that's also letting go.
Yeah, it's an adjustment. You have to get used to the fact that, that like that paycheck's not going to be there anymore, but there will be money coming in from other places. So I'll still be able to survive. That's
Right.
not a problem. I'll be able to thrive. I'm not worried about that.
Sure.
I'm not going to be working in this field anymore. I'm going to be working with people who are ready to change and make the transformation in their own life.
Right.
See,
Yeah.
this isn't about changing as much as it is about transforming.
I mean, you
Transformation
totally,
is the key here.
yeah, you totally hit it there. I mean, that's everything, right? It is not about change; it's about transformation. And the difference is that transformation. I mean, transformation is a form of changing, right? But it's not the changing because you have to change. You're transforming yourself into something new, which is almost like turning from a what's it called, a caterpillar to a butterfly, right?
Yeah, actually,
That's
that's actually a really cool analogy. I had heard something the other day that really struck me, and I didn't realize it. I had to actually research it and find out if this was true or not, if it was just a statement. A statement was made. I can't remember where I heard it, but a statement was made that a butterfly cannot see its own wings. It has absolutely no idea how magnificent it really is. Well, isn't
wow.
that true of all of us? We
Yeah.
can't, seriously, isn't that true of all of us? We
Wow.
can't see our own wings. We cannot see just how powerful and beautiful and magnificent we really are.
Yeah.
And that's where, like we were talking last week about one of the definitions of a coach is a professional visionary, right? I can hold on to your vision for you until you can learn how to see it yourself and really hold on to it yourself. You can't see what you're capable of yet,
Right.
but other people around you can see it. And when they compliment you, that was really awesome. No, you're just saying that. No, that was really awesome.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
you can't see it. You can't see it within yourself. So
And
the
that's
transformation is when you can see it in yourself.
yeah,
And that's
exactly.
empowering.
Yeah. And there is no mirror that will show you your wings, other
That's
than
right.
life, right? If you start seeing yourself as from who you are from inside, like the real you inside, right? The little voice that whispers your intuition that tell you what to do, that makes you feel certain ways. When you feel the feeling of joy, that's your mirror reflection of your wings, right? We talked about it the other day, right? Where I was helping this homeless guy, and I got the question like, am I doing this for him, or am I doing this to make myself better? And I guess the joy of doing that, of helping someone in need, is the reflection of your wings, so to say. Yeah. Now the analogy of the caterpillar goes even further, because the caterpillar, the moment he starts with his transformation, has no clue that he is going to be a butterfly that's going to fly, right? So he's just going through that phase with no perspective of the future, how it's going to be. It's just doing it. And out of that comes this beautiful, what we see as humans with our eyes and our perception, as a beautiful animal, flying around. But the caterpillar doesn't know what his future has within him. But he just goes, right?
Yeah, and I think part of that is just because nature just goes. Nature just goes on. Human beings are the only ones who have the ability to analyze and think and critique and overanalyze and criticize and what the hell is wrong with you? We're the ones who are getting in our own way simply because we have that ability to think. It makes us so much greater, but it also holds us back. There's a middle ground somewhere. You got to find that for yourself. Absolutely. You got to find that for yourself. What's worth hanging on to and what's worth letting go of? What part of you do you want to take control of? This is really about development.
Yeah, and it's not easy, because when do you know what's right? Right? You gotta feel it. You gotta
feel it.
You gotta know it. Right? There's something needs to be inside of you that says, it just is. This is what I want. Like for us, we want to be a coach. That's just part of who we are. But there's so much more of us, who we are. You're also a father, which is also who you really are. I'm a consultant. That's also who I am. And in whatever role you're in what time, and you're a friend of someone, and you're so much. There's not one thing you are. There are many things you are. Right. I once gave this presentation to the university here in Amsterdam, which was about identity, and I started off with my presentation. So I'm a success coach. And just to start, right? You start your talk with, so my name is Maurice, and I'm from Leiden, and I'm 48 years old, and I'm from the Netherlands, and I'm a life success coach. And I'm a brother, and I'm a best friend, and I'm a son, and I'm a nephew, and I'm an uncle, and I'm a tennis player, and I'm a TED talker, and I'm a consultant. There are so many things we are, but we think only the things we are, like consciously, when it is negative. I'm not good enough. I'm bad at this. I am sick. I'm unhappy. I'm depressed. I'm, poor, or I'm not made for a lot of money, or I'm not made for this. It's all, and that's the only things we actually start thinking actively about the things we are, which is so it's bullshit.
Counterproductive.
Absolutely counterproductive. It is, yeah. So control is really about, what in your life are you able to take control in? I mean, there are more things in life you can take control in than you might think, but other things also need to let go out of life, like what you said before, like your friends that don't support you or whatever, right? And sometimes, in order to take control or to have control, you also have to let go in order to have it received for you, right? Does it make sense?
Yeah. Well, think about this for a minute. We took control of career-wise that we wanted to be coaches, and we tried something as a coach, and that didn't work. Then we tried something else, and that didn't work. We still took control, even though it didn't work. We took control of it. But here's the beauty about taking control: you can change your mind. You can say, you know what, this way isn't working. Let me find one that does. You're still taking control, but you're letting
Yeah.
go of what didn't work. You're learning as you go. That's
Yeah.
what life is.
And learning along the way also means that you can learn other things there as well that also defines you as who you are. Just like I just said, right? I am a coach. I help people with these topics, right?
Right.
But I also decided to be a consultant again because I'm certain elements in my life as just being a coach. So I am now also a business consultant or a governance consultant where I help businesses with solving their issues, right? So along the way, whatever you discover, what I discovered for past year is that there's more than just this, what I just thought there was, right? So the letting go part also created space for me to discover other things about me, what I want in my life, right?
Absolutely. Let me ask you a question. I'm just being nosy. Let me ask you a question. Now that you're back in the consulting field, did you miss it?
I did miss the consultancy, you mean?
Yeah, this where you're working at. Did you miss being in the flow of the?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I see it every day around me now, right? I got my team, my colleagues, what I work with, the company itself that provides certain elements that I didn't do myself or couldn't do myself. I also have decided I want to be a freelancer, right? To just go as a freelancer as a consultant, but the whole framework of everything within a company and a team and people who are there for you and take care of each other and help each other out and things like that, that's just also something which is awesome, right? Just to give you an example, yesterday was such a cool thing. I just started 2 weeks ago, right? But I already had one party. I had a dinner party yesterday. We went racquetball playing. Next week I'm going to play tennis. That's also part of being a new group of people which within this company, and they provide all these cool things. So that's awesome, right?
Wow.
But yeah, of course, I missed that because I was sitting on my own behind my computer in Switzerland, which was also fine, but that wasn't within a team. So yeah, of course, I missed that. Yeah,
So what you end up doing over time is you learn to surround yourself with the people who can help you achieve the things that you want to achieve. And that's another part of letting go. Because the people
absolutely.
who weren't helping you, you gotta let them go. Becomes a point where you just gotta make that call.
Sure.
But you take
And
control of the people that you do want to be around. You don't take control of them, but you take control of the
no,
fact that I can be around these people and I want to be
yeah,
around these people.
yeah, exactly. And combined all that together, I still decide where I want to spend my time on, right? So I spend my time on the consulting job. I also spend my time on coaching, helping people still, right? It's also part of my deal. But I also help spend my time putting off a huge 25,000 people event here in the city of Leiden next summer. I also decide to
Awesome.
play tennis, right? There's so many things that I like to do and I spend my time on because I think that's important. And that's the decision, that's the control part you can take, right? And whether it is something your career or a hobby or I mean, whatever your career is what we define as okay, so you get paid for it for doing it. But my career is more than just my consulting focused thing, right? It's also my coaching, but it's also my acting world and everything I do there, or my speaking engagement and things like that. So there's all that I like to do professionally, which means at my best level of professionalism, right? And it doesn't stop being paid for it or not. It's based on my my intention again, what we talked about before,
Yeah.
and
And the other
that's
thing,
what I control to do. Yeah.
and by the way, on a side note, I caught your video that you did with you singing. It was great. You got a really cool voice. I did not know that. I saw
Thanks,
that
brother.
video. You got a really good voice. I like it. So if anybody's watching, go check out his video on singing,
Yeah.
when he was singing. It was really nice.
Yeah, thank you,
Um,
man. I appreciate
yeah.
that. It's on my personal page, so you can watch it there. It's also
So for
something I love doing, right? So it's something I'd like to spend time on and meet people on that app as well, right? I mean, on that same app, that's where I met my last girlfriend, right, in Switzerland. So that's how things sometimes go. And if you spend time doing the things you love, where you get your joy from, right? then you are on your path of your life, what you love doing. And that is the conscious decision. Doing that, being aware of the things you love doing, that will bring you into your controlling world without grasping onto it, like never letting go, right? No, you just let it happen and it will happen.
Yeah. So part number one to this, find out what you truly love to do.
Yeah,
Find out what you truly, and make a list, write it down. What lights you up? Pen to paper.
absolutely.
Write down what you love to do. Okay. What lights you up? What brings you joy and fulfillment? Then
Absolutely.
you can find a way to get to that more often, and you will find out how much happier you are when you're actually doing the things that bring you joy, not the things that you have to do.
Exactly.
Okay.
We all things we have to do. I mean, that's just part of life in where we decided to live, right? If you want to live in this Western world, you need to make money. That's just something you need to do. Otherwise,
Yeah.
things won't work for you. And you have to pay your taxes and you have to go to the grocery store to buy your food. But there's so many things where we spend our time on not being conscious, just wasting time watching the news, watching Netflix
Yep.
series, or with toxic friends, or and I think that's the main issue. What I'd like to share with you guys, if you are serious about your life, there is abundance in everything. Well, not in everything. There is abundance in everything but one thing, and that is time.
Time.
Time is the only resource you will get less of every single day. And I talked about this with a friend of mine, and he said, how often do you see your parents? I said, well, I don't know, maybe once a week or so. Okay, so how old are your parents? How long are they going to be here?
Right.
I don't know, maybe 5 years. Okay, so that's 5 times 52 weeks. That's the amount you are going to see your parents, right? You're only going to see your parents for 250 times. Why? Whoa, what the fuck? That's time. That is what time does, right?
I'm in Florida. My father's in New York, and I speak to him. We do Zoom calls, FaceTime, stuff like that. We do Zoom calls, but I saw him in January because he was in the hospital, and we were talking today on a video call, and he's getting weaker. I got to figure out how I'm going to have to get up to New York because I want to see him again.
Yeah, exactly. Because time is not on our side, right?
No, but you brought up a good point just now when you were talking about how many things are we doing that we don't think about. I'm on autopilot so many times myself, but I've gotten to the point now where I'm consciously aware of it. I catch myself when I'm on autopilot. When I get those negative thought patterns in my head, what am I doing? What are you thinking like this for? And I catch myself and I stop myself and I say, nope, reboot, start over again. I don't want that in my life anymore. That's something I can take control over.
Yeah,
my thought patterns. Exactly. What I'm physically doing. Every once in a while I'll sit down, I'll go on a Netflix binge, okay? But it's nowhere near what it used to be.
Right. And even that, I mean, it can be something you find joy in. I mean, I love movies. I love this whole story fact. I love series. So I also watch Netflix series, right? But it's about a conscious decision you're making. You're going to spend this time on this or not. Or are you going to read a book or watch some, inspiring YouTube video or whatever it is that, it's all about consciousness here, about awareness. I think we can do a whole other episode about awareness because in the essence, it's all about that, right? You got to be aware that you're alive, that you are in the present right now, experiencing your life, your reality as you're experiencing it. And you can take control of that for tomorrow.
Yes, and it takes practice to be able to, in the moment when something has hit the fan, to physically, to emotionally pull yourself out of that and say, all right, what's the best way to deal with this right now that's going to benefit me and everybody else? What's the best way for the greater good what's the best way to handle this for the greater good? Okay? Yeah. To actually be able to pull yourself emotionally out of the situation in the moment when it's happening takes practice. That takes a ton of work. It
Absolutely.
is one of the hardest things I've ever done, but I'm getting to the point where I can do it. I catch myself now. And
You
that is a
know,
pretty cool accomplishment. And I'm proud of that.
absolutely. My whole coaching programs are designed around your redesign of your life, right? So you,
Yeah.
and it starts with this awareness part where you become aware of your thoughts, of the things you do, the autopilots you have, and then decide if they still work for you or not, right? If it's something you'd like to change for your future or not. For your current day, right? It doesn't even have to be big, but does it help you to get up at, let's say, 7:30 because you have to run at 8 to work, right? So you get your half an hour, you eat your breakfast, you shower, you dress up in a hurry, and then you go out all stressed up in your car, in your traffic, and then you're at work. Now that's a routine you could have built in years, right? But now let's take the awareness into this. Is it really helping you to get your day started like that? Or are you going to, get up half an hour earlier so you have more time? You can drink your cup of coffee, all relaxed, reading the newspaper or look out, seeing the sunrise or whatever it is. So you can decide to redesign that morning routine so it will help you create a better day. It's really just that.
It's choices, it's decisions.
And
It's
that's the
decisions.
control part,
What
right?
matters to you? What
Yeah.
matters to you? You know,
Yeah.
you need a little extra 15 minutes in the morning to just meditate, to just sit there and set an intention to start your day.
Yeah.
Give yourself an extra 15 minutes at night to meditate and end your day on a positive note with a positive thought and a
Exactly.
positive intention for a good night's sleep and for an answer to a solution to a challenge that you're trying to overcome. And you wake up in the morning and bam, oh, you know what? I never thought of that before because you didn't
Right.
ask your brain to work on it first.
Right. Right.
All decisions,
Absolutely.
all choices, it's intentions.
It's
And you
intentions, it's
will know
choices.
and you'll know what to take control of and what to let go of. You'll find out what truly
Exactly.
matters to you in your world.
Yeah. And I think in that matter, the control part, the taking control part is often the beginning, right? Like, okay, so now you understand that you can take control and things like that. But then you have to learn to let go of things, people, situations, thought patterns, and also, and we all know this, when you want something to happen, you want to create something, we often get into action mode, right? You gotta do. Gotta work hard, you gotta grind. But when you do that, you go against the stream of the opportunity you actually get. Because if you just let go and create the space within you to get
Mhm.
the right feeling, to get the right inspiration, to take inspired action, that might take, go for a walk for an hour in the woods, and you're like, oh no, I can't spend an hour outside because I got to work. But the hour in the woods will give you more insights or an inspiration, which will lead you to take certain actions or call someone who can do the work for you or can help you out on certain topics. Right? So the letting go often creates that needed space to actually let things happen you want to take control in.
Yeah, you don't have to do everything yourself. There's other people who are more qualified to do certain things. So get some help. Let
Absolutely. Yeah.
go. Let
Yeah.
go of this thing that you suck at, that you don't know how to do too well, that somebody's more qualified to do, that drives you crazy, that you hate doing.
It's how
Let
businesses
somebody else
start,
do that
right?
so that you can focus on the stuff that you're good at.
Yeah, it's how business starts. I mean, a business is just a group of people who have the same vision and goal for each other. And, employee one is best at doing accounting, employee two is best at selling. So, you hire these people to do that for you.
So let them do it
That's,
and get out of their way.
yeah, exactly. And I think it was Richard Branson who said it, right? When I hire people, I want them to be smarter than me because I want them to tell me what I need to do to help them perform the best they can, right?
Yeah.
And that's all there is, right? So letting go means also creating space for others to get in their best
To
their
step into
best
their
way.
best selves.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man,
So it's
this
an
is so
ongoing
wild.
process, guys.
It is. And as you see, it's more than just about you yourself. It's also about your environment, the people you spend your time with, how you spend your time, the thoughts you have, the awareness you have around yourself, that's where this all comes in, right? So, yeah, sometimes you have to let go to take control. Sometimes you just have to take control to get things done, right?
Yeah.
To make a decision, to decide, for whatever it is, this is now the best moment in time to do this, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So let me throw one more thing out there.
Right.
Maurice and I have taken control, and next Sunday, we are going to have our first live guest, our live speaker.
Yeah.
Stephanie McPherson will be here. She is the
Absolutely.
host of Empowering Conversation. She just wrote and published, it's released now, her first cookbook called Deep or Recalicious. It is an awesome book. I was actually on her podcast cooking one of the dishes with her a couple of weeks
Awesome.
ago, which was awesome. And she is a nutrition, because she got a bachelor's in nutrition, and she's a nutritional
Yeah.
coach, and she's absolutely brilliant. And she's going to be live with us next week, and I cannot wait to have. She was supposed to be here tomorrow. None of us realized that tomorrow's Easter Sunday, so we backed it up. We backed it up to next week. So,
Exactly.
but you know what? This is going to be awesome. I cannot wait to have her on. It's going to be so much fun.
Absolutely. We're both looking forward to that. And, it's going to be a blast to have guests on the show. So just, you're part of this group. So if you're there and you got a story to tell, or you got a lesson you've learned you want to share, right? Just DM us,
Please let
contact
us know.
us, right? Yeah, we'd love to have you on the show as well. If you're up for it and you want to talk
Absolutely.
about it, you're absolutely welcome to do so. And we'll send you the link so you can enter the show and the studio here as well. And we'll talk about that, right? So that will be so cool. So yeah, looking forward for next week. And absolutely, yeah, it's gonna be a blast.
Guys, it has been an absolute pleasure. This is a fun conversation to have. I can't wait till we get into it next week. Be safe, be healthy, enjoy your Easter, enjoy your Passover, and nothing but blessings to all of you out there.
Absolutely, same for me. Thank you so much for watching. You can check us out as well on the mentoringman.com. We have everything we offer right there. You can also watch all the episodes of the podcast there, of course.
Mhm.
And if there's anything you're struggling with, if there's anything you'd like to let's talk about, whatever it is, let us know, and we'll definitely be there, because we are here for you. That's why we do this on this platform, and it's not some open public thing. No, we want us to, we want to provide this for this community here. So that's why we do it here for you guys. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
Okay.
Okay.
Take care,
Talk to you
everybody.
then.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good night.